Hello everybody and welcome to IronCraft. This is episode 6. In the last episode I started my mega base, which is this right here. It's a castle. This is the front gate. So in today's episode I'm going to expand on this build right here. And maybe if I have time I'll start the front bridge out here. But for now my main focus is going to be the main castle structure. Oh, and this weird circle thing back here has nothing to do with the main structure. I had an idea and I wanted to experiment with it. That will come in a future episode. Okay, so before I can do anything else though, I gotta build the dirt frame of the structure, which I have plenty of dirt for. I'm gonna build it back here just so I can get an idea of what everything's supposed to look like. So here is the dirt outline. This is what I'm going to try to focus on today. These are some outside walls and the main castle structure walls, which will be kind of tall. I think this will make it be a big improvement to the build. So that wall right there is going to be pretty tall. That's going to be the tall main structure of the castle. It's probably going to be about that tall right there when it's built. This wall over here will be a little shorter, but it's also kind of a main structure. It'll probably be about the height of the outside walls, maybe a little taller. So now before I start building these walls really tall, I got to do the texturing at the bottom. So this texturing is going to be the same as every other wall I've done so far. The acacia logs in this weird spiky kind of pattern, because I'm trying to make a gradient, and then on top of that will be the coral and then gravel, and then it'll finally go into the stone. It's the same as every other wall, but I just got to build this before I can start doing the main flat part of the wall. So now I just got to build this design over there. So the walls are done. Now I can start putting the texturing in for the actual main castle structure. I did both of these sides over here, but first actually I'm going to finish these walls fully before I get to the main castle probably. That'd be better. So I'm going to do that in the form of a time lapse though, because it's just placing stone. It's also the same design as the other episodes, so you've already kind of seen the build process. So let's start the time lapse now. So yeah, I found a way I can do time lapses. This is my first ever time lapse for an IronCraft episode. So I will have a community post, since this is really strange and different, something I've never done before. There will be a community post after you're done watching this video. Go check it out. It will be saying, yes, I like time lapses, or no, I don't like time lapses. So I can kind of get an idea on how you guys feel watching this video. Like if you like the time lapses or not. So I'll base off how the poll does if I'll make more time lapses or not. Because sometimes they can be helpful, sometimes people might not like them. But anyway, be sure to check that out, and now let's head back to the episode. So during the time lapse, I finished these outside walls, this curved one, and these straight ones inside. So these are going to be the walls that connect to the main structure of the castle. So now that these are done, the next step is to do the black trim at the top that these walls have. You see those up there, the upside down deep slate stairs. So I'm going to do that, and then it'll be ready for the next step. So here it is. I did the outside detailing of the upside down stairs, and I also did it over here in the inside. So now that is complete. Looks definitely better with those being in place. But now there's also something I just realized. This tough line right here, I didn't think about that. I need to expand that all the way across these empty spots that don't have tough. So I gotta do that now. It shouldn't take too long. It's a tiny build, and then after that I can start doing the big castle structure behind me. So now all the polished tuff is in place. It's time to begin the castle, and this is like every other wall I've done so far. The gradient design, starting with the acacia logs, going into the coral, gravel, and then stone. Same thing I've been doing everywhere else, so I'll get that started. The thing with this wall is though, after I finish this design down here, it won't stop so suddenly like it does on this wall. It's going to go a good bit taller. Okay, so I stopped building here. It's going to be a lot taller than this, like I said, but I stopped here because there's one step I need to do before building higher. And that one step is to dig holes for the windows in this wall. I'm doing 2-block wide windows separated by 3 blocks of solid wall. And then the windows will be about 3 blocks tall, 3 or 4 blocks tall. So yeah, now I can start digging out the holes. They're actually going to be 3 blocks tall, and then the 4th block I will dig out and put upside down deep slate brick stairs in place, just as like a detail. But for now I'm making it 3 blocks tall just for this step right here, because I'm just digging it out. And then the windows will be waxed copper grates, slightly weathered, because that looks pretty cool as like a window design. So that's what I'm going to do there. And now here is the upside down stairs that I was talking about. I'm going to do something like this at the top on the 4th block just as like a detail. Okay, so it's been some time now. I finished this wall right here, the windows, and I also went ahead and did these two walls over here because it's the same design as every other wall. And I also have that marked out because that's going to be an arched entryway to the main castle building, kind of like I did over here, just that one will be empty so you can walk in. So now before I expand the build even taller, I need to finish this inside courtyard because that's what this is going to be. I guess I kind of haven't explained that yet, but starting here, there's going to be a pathway that curves through like this and leads to that entrance. And I don't know where everything else is going to be, like all the empty stuff, probably just grass with some bushes. So yeah, this is going to be the courtyard, so I got to flatten out the grass. That's the next step. Then I can start the main structure. Actually, I'm going to flatten out the area later. I'm going to start the main structure now because I'm just doing a 1 block wide wall with no details behind it. I'll get the main structure done in future episodes. But this is what I'm thinking. These stairs, everywhere there's a stair marks a window. Then I'm going to have a 2 block tall window with an upside down stair at the top. And then in there is going to be panes. And it's just like a cool window design, I think. So it looks simpler, less simple, I mean, than just panes by themselves. So that's what I'm going to do the whole way up. This is like a three or four story tall building. So I'm going to do that all the way up. So this is what it's going to look like pretty much. I just did 3 windows so far, but that's the idea. So I'm going to do a time lapse because it's pretty repetitive doing this. So I'm just going to time lapse the process of building these windows and I will come back when that's done. So for this time lapse, I'm going to talk about the 1000th day of this game. It is coming up, as you can probably tell by the days played counter on the normal clips. It's day 700, 800 about. So I was thinking for day 1000, I would do a world tour, like tour every build that anyone has ever made in this game. If you think that's a good idea, leave a like because I think I'll do that for day 1000. Because I've never toured anyone's place in much depth yet this game, so you guys don't even know what some of the other builds look like. But anyway, back to the episode. So here it is. The time lapse is complete. This is how the build is turning out so far. I think it looks pretty good. It's definitely looking a lot better. The more I add to this, it's looking more like a big structure. This turned out pretty cool though. So here's all the windows I was talking about. Definitely a pretty flat wall, but that will change. I have a big idea for a huge roof, and then over there, another roof. Those roofs will have to be for a different episode, but for now, I have finished this area right here. I've added all the details that are needed. Let's get a closer look at them. So right there, I put in all the windows, and up there, there's some tiny windows too. And then, like I said, all those panes over there. So I think this is that area complete. So next episode, maybe I'll start the roofs. That's going to be a big process, so I don't know if I'll be able to do that yet. But it'll be up there, a big arching roof like that. And then another long roof over there. But anyway, there's one final build I want to do for this episode, and that is terraform around here to connect it to the ground so it's not floating anymore, just like I did everywhere else. Okay, so here it is. This is the terraformed area. I think it looks really cool. I always like the look of terraformed land, and it looks really cool. So now it's not hovering anymore, and I also did some more terraforming over here, but this side isn't as exciting because it's just like a 3-block slope, because this one's a lot lower to the ground. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I wasn't able to get to the bridge yet because I didn't really have time, and sorry that this episode took so long. I had some problems with the editing where this episode was actually ready to be uploaded like 2 or 3 weeks ago, but the footage got corrupt or something, so I couldn't save the file from my editing software, so I had to restart. So I'm sorry that this took so long, and that's why it took so long. Hopefully that won't happen for the next episode. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I will see you next time.